Times Live says Dali Mpofu must answer to 7 charges, including bringing the legal profession into disrepute. This is Dali Mpofu, who was in the EFF organization as a member, as a political supporter, and then representing Julius Malema in the organization as an advocate, and also representing Jacob Zuma on his trials. But now he has moved from being an EFF member and representing Julius Malema, and has moved to become a fully functional member of the MK, becoming the political member, and also he's still representing Jacob Zuma. Now we are being told about these 7 charges that are brought against him, and then my response was, this is political persecution, and this is politically motivated, and don't care who says what. I don't care who says what. Political motivated, political persecutions, because Dali Mpofu has been practicing law the way he has been practicing even before. He has always been pushing the boundaries even before. He has always been sounding like he's rude in court cases, sessions even before. What's new? There's nothing new. Chris Excel is saying Jacob Zuma, he has built infrastructure. Ramaphosa, he's not building any infrastructure, he's just patching what has been there, and he's patching potholes instead of building roads. And if you remember Jacob Zuma, he built so much infrastructure because he was preparing for the 2010 World Cup. Of course, Thabo Mbeki started and then he finished it. So Ramaphosa, there's no significant infrastructure that we can point to and say Ramaphosa has built in the as a legacy for him when he leaves the office. There's none. But for Jacob Zuma, there's a lot. So this is a fact, this is true. We may not like him, but it is true. So I asked the question, which president who has done more for South Africa? Most people says Jacob Zuma 72.9% out of 663% were participated. Ramaphosa says 7.2%. Mbeki 13.3%. I'm not sure, 6.6%. So what we're getting is that Zuma, whether we like him or not, whether we like his party or not, whether we like what he represents or not, but when it comes to facts, things that are clear facts, written, documented, are part of the statistics, we can just agree because it doesn't matter. It's just a fact. It doesn't elevate him. It doesn't put him down. It's a fact. It stays that way, whether we recognize it or not, whether we like it or we don't. So I think when it comes to facts, we shouldn't be political. We should just state the facts as they are. Mkhwanazi here. This media account says IPID withdraws complaints against Mkhwanazi. The Independent Police Investigative Directorate has withdrawn a letter of complaint against Mkhwanazi. The commissioner in KZN confirmed by Mkhwanazi April 9, 2025. So my comment was, we all knew these accusations were cooked by haters. Mkhwanazi here, we all knew that he was doing a great work. He was exposing the criminals, exposing the crime, and it got people shaken. And the people who don't like him, they brought up all these accusations against him. We knew that they were cooked. We knew that there were persecution against him to stop the work, to discourage him to stop the work that he's doing. But I think he needs to continue, stand firm, and do the work that people want him to do. Period. Gogo Skhotheni, a former sangoma, has embraced Christianity. He is now leading a prayer session. This is Mutumi, which is Gogo Skhotheni, who is now leading a prayer, 17 May this month. Who is leading a prayer next month, 17 May. And now she was a sangoma, now has changed into a Christian. My question is, why she has to start leading? Why can't she sit down and learn just like everyone else? Isn't it a Christian principle that when you accept Christianity, you're a baby? You need to drink milk. You need to sit down and learn from those who've been there, those with experience, those who are leading. And then when you have absorbed everything, when you have eaten, when you gain strength and you know the direction, now you can start leading and do all these wonderful things, but it's not the case here. So my comment was, isn't it too soon to lead already? Why not sit down and learn from others just like everyone else? It's a good question, but it seems like it's in reverse here. So start by leading, maybe you should learn later. The Minister of Home Affairs, Leon Schreiber, starting today, the BMM is surveilling our borderline day and night using advanced drones flying as high as 7,000 meters at over 40 kilometers per hour, equipped with night vision, thermal detection, and AI, while body cameras clamp down further on corruption. Digital transformation in action.
Today was a momentous day for the Border Management Authority as we launched the first 4 highly advanced new drones equipped with night vision, thermal recognition and artificial intelligence to clamp down on illegal immigration and smuggling at the border environment. We also launched 40 body-worn cameras that will help us observe operations in the ports, clamp down on corruption and improve efficiency. This is how our commitment to digital transformation is delivering for you.
Yeah, the first thing that we need to agree on is that when you do this kind of work without drones, it becomes very much expensive and it becomes very much ineffective. Primarily because you are basically just patrolling. You patrol in the dark. You do not know whether you will get the people or you will meet people or anything of that sort. So it becomes ineffective. But now with the introduction of the drones, the most powerful part of it is we are able to monitor across the vulnerable segments. We are able to monitor in the port but also on the corridor. Now on the vulnerable segments, we are then able effectively to see when individuals are attempting to enter the country illegally. So in terms of here in Beitbridge, together with the issue of the river here, we are able to see people being put in the boat and they're basically crossing the river with those individuals. So what we basically do is we allow them to come through, and as they come through, we are able to then send the coordinates to our border guards on the ground, obviously engaging with them through the push-to-talk devices that they have on the ground, and on that basis they're able to go specifically where those individuals are and they're able to get those people intercepted. It is for that reason that we can talk about 1,000+ people that has been intercepted just in the past 4 days during this particular period. It is because of the assistance of those drones. The most important thing, Koketso, that we are actually looking at implementing, we need to actually have a targeted approach where we identify the facilitators for this illegal migration issue and get them arrested. When we arrest the facilitators, we don't necessarily deport them. We take them to the police station in Musina. We make sure that we open a criminal case for aiding and abetting under Section 49(2) of the Immigration Act.
So here is the Minister of Home Affairs launching these new things, which is beautiful, which is lovely. We love what he's doing. And then my comment was, repair the actual border itself, make it impenetrable. What's the use of overworking these border agents when the border itself is still porous and open? And someone says, so you want them to build a wall? I said, maybe. So what I'm saying, they should do all these things simultaneously. While introduce all these wonderful new technology and other strategies, they should also make sure that the border is not porous, because people are still walking in and still walking out illegally the way they want, crossing some river and whatever. But maybe things can change for the better. We don't know. We'll see. Dr. Nasipi Moya, who is an executive mayor of Tshwane, she says, we're aiming a rubber start this morning for this project. This area is notorious for uncleanliness, crime. We have focused on impounding several cars that have been dumped illegally in the park area. Over the several days, we'll be cleaning up this area, ensure that its environment improves. We may not attend everything at once, but the work has started. We have some images, some footages showing the people in action. So what I like is that she's actually doing the work. She's actually reporting and showing all these wonderful things she's doing. She may not be perfect. She does remind me of Katie McKenzie, and I do say that she's doing a great work, just like Katie McKenzie. The comment was, Vala Mayor Vala. So the mayor must make sure that she clamps this crime down. She clamps whatever that is not legal in the city, in the metro. I love it. I like to see it more. Well done, Mayor. Apparently, she's following me and I'm following her. That's good. On 31 March, Danny killed his wife, Malette. Danny went overseas to work as a farmer in the US on an agricultural worker's visa. While he was away, Malette had an affair, and then the matter is about an affair. So my comment was how I thought Orania was heaven with zero crime. So, and this person says 2 crimes in 20 years and this knee grows in Kuni. So yes, it may not be a crime every day just like in South Africa in general, but it is a very safe town, Orania. But I was shocked to see that there is actually a murder. I didn't know. It's either it's not being reported or it doesn't actually happen at all. There's zero crime. There was zero crime before these 2 crimes or this 1 crime. I'm not sure. We'll see. So with the murder in Orania, Chris Axel says terrible things happening in Orania. And my question was, is this Orania crime part of South African crime? And most people out of these 168 people who participated says, no, Orania is not South Africa. So that's the crime that happened in that city or in that town is not part of the South African statistics. I think that's what people wish it could be, but it doesn't work that way. Yes, Orania is in South Africa, and it's true. Orania, it is in South Africa, even though that's not what majority of people said. 38.1%, 16.1% says I'm confused, 6.5% says it's too hard to tell. Confused, I mean, they are independent, probably they're still paying tax, they're still using the South African currency, even though they don't use municipal things that we use in South Africa, but they are in South Africa. So it is a bit confusing. I can understand that, but they should have their crime statistics. Otherwise, I don't know how they will cope with the crime that is in South Africa. So Chris Axel had an issue with Penwell. So you've got these lovely bikers, 3 guys who've been biking from Limpopo to Cape Town. They did that in 14 days, and so this guy is commenting about that. And then Chris Axel says South Africa without AfriForum and Penwell, it's all love, it's all beautiful celebration and lovely. And so I asked the question, is Penwell's influence as bad as AfriForum? 683. Most people says yes, Penwell is bad, just like AfriForum. It was at that time when people were angry at Penwell when he said that insensitive comment about a child rape victim that happened. So people are still angry about that, so they made this decision out of anger, saying that AfriForum and Penwell, there's no difference, they have bad influence on South Africa. No, Penwell is a good guy, 12.9%, yes, 46.4%, I'm not sure, 16.5%, I don't like him, 24.2%. So most people don't like him, and then they make this irrational decision. So I don't understand why people just do say these things out of anger, and it doesn't make sense. Ian's Roots, a former member of AfriForum, said I had a wonderful conversation with Jordan Peterson about the situation in South Africa, including the history of Afrikaner the deterioration of the state, South Africa, incitement of violence against minorities, and necessary alternative for political solution. He says he spoke for 2.5 hours with 2 interviews. You'll see the other one published on Monday. This is Jordan Peterson, a conservative, very influential Christian conservative in the US. And then you've got Ian Root, the former member of Forum. My comment was, I wonder which fake news or fake stories you were pushing this time. Did you invent new ones, or you were repeating the same old ones? And actually I found out, I watched the conversation between the two. I found out this one, he was actually pushing some fake things. Because he asked him one instance, he's asked him that, where is this wrong narrative coming from, which says that South Africans, black South Africans, were robbed or were forcefully taken out of the land and white people stole the land? And he says he doesn't know. It's a fake news, which is not true, because under apartheid there was a law that was legal for apartheid state to actually take land forcefully from black people. So it was stolen because the law was wrong. So it seems like indeed he was pushing some fake stories, some fake narratives over there, that side. And Americans are really believing these people because Donald Trump is really pushing the story that bad things are happening in South Africa, and politicians are up against the farmers and all of these wonderful things, all these bad things. So we'll see how it goes. So this account says, guys, be honest, how much are you spending on electricity? PhysXL says, I spent this amount here, I spent this amount here. So he's saying this silently, that he's using this equipment to get unlimited electricity. That means he's robbing electricity. So I asked the question, when electricity increases in an extreme way, is it justifiable to rob electricity? Most people says yes, 68.7%. 422 people participated, no, 19%, it depends, 12.3%. So people are saying no, it really depends. Others are saying no, others are saying yes. Most people are saying yes, it is justified that we rob electricity to get an unlimited electricity. News account says EFF calls for review of Orania status. EFF in Northern Cape have called for review of Orania status, a predominantly African town of around 3,500 residents in the Northern Cape. The party urges that the town undermines national unity and perpetuate apartheid-era ideologies following the failed discussion with Orania's leadership and the Freedom Front Plus on April 11, 2025. The EFF has planned to march to Premier Dr. Zamani Sol's office in Kimberley on April 22. So apparently the EFF is calling for this, and then I asked, for what? The government and Orania have had their deal in the 90s. Why didn't Malema ask for this while he was in the ANC? Because Malema, he was an active and very influential leader in the ANC. Why didn't he say this thing when he was inside the ANC? Because the ANC is the one that created all of this mess. Why didn't they challenge it? Now, later on, he wants to challenge this just because he just feels like it. EFF does not promote unity of all the races. I can add, AfriForum also does that. MK does that. Even the DA does that. So most political parties do that. Fikile Mbalula, SG of the ANC, says, Nkulunkulu siyabonga. That means thank you, God. And then he posted this. Orlando Pirates says, what have we done to God to deserve this too much happiness? And then my response was, what have we done to God to deserve the ANC? It's bad, it's too much, painful. And then we are suffering. And people are having the time of their lives, they are laughing all the way through. And yeah, I was just trolling him. I mean, this is not political. He's just posting something about sport, soccer. And then I was just trolling him. It's nothing serious. It's nothing deep